Hello and welcome to another Blender Cookie tutorial. This is David Ward, and in this tutorial we're going to go back over and kind of update the old facial rig, advanced facial rig part 1, where we're messing with the shape keys and everything. Now, in later versions of Blender, the techniques that I showed you before are a little different now. You have to use some different techniques to get the same types of techniques. Different techniques to get the same results. There we go. Parts 2, 3, and 4 of this series should be about the same, but this part 1, you might have a little trouble with doing some of these shape keys. Now, first thing let's go down here, all the way down to the bottom. Oh, by the way, this was brought to my attention from one of our users, Hans Eriksson, so thanks for the heads up there. And it was his idea to go ahead and do another update here. So here we are. Okay, back to business at hand. Let's go ahead and add a new shape key right here. This is key 28. I'll just leave it key 28 for now. Don't need to rename it because it's just a test. Anyways, let's tab into edit mode. And maybe the first thing you noticed if you've tried to do this recently is in the tutorial, before I showed to turn on proportional editing and come over here and turn on our X mirror and topology mirror. Well, you can see now that these are grayed out and they no longer work like this. Now there's a couple of ways you can get around this. One is just go ahead and turn off proportional editing. You can see that those turn back on. So now you can do that. And you can kind of just maybe move it a little bit and just kind of maybe move it as you need to, or you can turn it back on and maybe just go into side view and just kind of maybe say you're wanting to do a cheek puff. Just grab these guys here, and you see it grabs both sides, and then you can just kind of scale it. And since both sides are actually selected, it uses the proportional fall off to do those. So that's one way you can get around it. Now another way, if you're going to do something that's on both sides, there's no need to really do it on both sides at once, because with this, there's a new technique you can use in here that kind of, it kind of kills the need for this left and right vertex group. I'll show you how to do that. Let's go ahead and tab back out of edit mode. Let's go ahead and delete that key that we just did there. Or you know what, I'll just leave it there. Let's create a new one. And let's say this one, we'll just call it cheek puff left. I'll just type out left all the way instead of just .l. And you can see here, let's go back into edit mode and let's grab that left cheek and let's puff it out like it needs to be. And you can see, oops, grab the wrong one there. There we go. And just kind of just model it as it needs to be there, only on the left side. Got a big mouthful of something he's chewing up, like a chipmunk or something. So anyways, okay, so we got that left side puffed out. Boom, like so. Now, another change, real quick, is if we have that all the way to 1, and normally in previous versions, if we hit the plus sign, it would basically make a copy of that. And if we were to change the value, it would just keep adding to it until it was twice as much, like that. But as you can see now, when you add the plus sign, it just creates a blank new key, shape key. So I don't want to do that. I want to create a copy of this guy. So what I'm going to do is go and delete that one and make sure everything's zeroed out except for what I want to copy. And then I hit the little black triangle here, the little down arrow, and say new shape from mix. And then that takes everything, all the shape keys that are turned on, and basically copies what you're seeing. So right now we created a new shape from the mix, so we created a new shape of just this left cheek puffed out. So now you can see if we scroll that, it does double it. So let's go ahead and delete, or not delete that, but zero that one out. And this one is the exact same. So let's call this one cheek puff right. And like I said, we don't really need the left and right anymore, because all we have to do is also on the black arrow mirror the shape key. And as long as your mesh is perfectly symmetrical, using the when you built it, if you use the mirror modifier and everything's perfectly symmetrical, when you mirror this shape key right there, it adds it to the other side. So that's a handy way to not have to worry about selecting the left and right vertex groups and getting the fall off and everything right. So, pardon me, I won't go into the nitpicks of going through and deleting all of those and recreating them. Like I said, just a quick tip to show you how to do it. So if you want to go back and kind of redo your model without worrying about the vertex groups and just redo all the shape keys, it's an easy way to do it. So I think that pretty much covers all of the things that I was wanting to cover in this little tip here. So hopefully that'll help you out and maybe ease some frustration there if you were running into the problems of the proportional editing there. So that's why I looked at that. I was like, why is those both puffed out? Because that's the original shape key that we made. So anyways, so that's the way. Also, real quick, let me show you one thing real quick. Let's add another shape key down here, and let's call this one jaw left. Okay. Now, I think I might have showed you this in the original series, or original part, but let me show you again, just so I know you know what I'm talking about. I selected the whole chin area, and I'm going to put my 3D cursor right there about where the nose is. Hit period on my numpad or my keyboard. I'm going to that rotates around the 3D cursor, so I'm going to rotate that a little bit to the left. And there we go. And you can actually set that all the way up to 1. New shape key for mix. There we go. And you can go ahead and mirror it. And we'll call this one jaw right. So now it did the exact same thing. Oops. Well, okay, here's the issue with that. You have to turn off these guys when you do that. So let's go ahead and delete that shape key. And make sure that one's good. Turned off. Okay. And now we will mirror the shape key. And go ahead and zero that back out. Oops. I didn't copy it first, did I? There we go. New shape for mix. Go ahead and mirror that one back the way it was. And mirror this one. Call this one jaw right. 0. And mirror. There we go. Okay. So, there you go. If you run into that problem where it's like it mixes them there in the middle, it's because you have these guys here turned on. So, okay. So hopefully, like I said, hopefully that eases some frustration and some confusion. So hopefully I was clear enough in this little tutorial here to put you on the right track. So anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.